All right, guys, let's continue on our Terminator video series here on this channel. And today we're going to be talking about Carl, the T-800 portrayed by Arnold Schwarzenegger in this movie. Now, we know that Arnold's coming back. He's playing this T-800 named Carl in the movie. This is not a spoiler whatsoever, but we're going to be jumping into spoilers about this movie. And if you don't want to be spoiled, just click off right now. Come back after you see the movie. But however, let's move on. So in the beginning scene of the movie, the Carl Terminator comes out of the ocean and he pops into John Connor. John Connor's dead. I've already did a video on that. So if you want to watch that, check out that video. But here's the thing. His existence really doesn't make any sense since John Connor, the other T-800, and Sarah Connor, they killed all the Terminators. They stopped Skynet from even being born from the events of T2. So Sarah Connor says this in the movie at the beginning. Skynet sent two Terminators back through time. Their mission, to destroy the leader of the human resistance, John Connor, my son. The first Terminator was programmed to strike me in the year 1984, before John was born. It failed. The second was sent to strike at John himself when he was still a child. Now that sounds like something that we heard at the beginning of Terminator 2 Judgment Day. But she's referring to, I believe, the events of Terminator Dark Fate. Now, this really kind of doesn't make any sense, but my assumption is that Skynet sent another Terminator at the same time they sent the T-1000. Probably it's like a backup plan. That's what I'm assuming. But later on, Sarah actually says the T-800 was carrying out orders from a future that never happened. So technically, they stopped Skynet, so this Terminator should have never really came back in time. It doesn't really kind of add up to me. Maybe I'm missing something. Maybe if I am, you guys let me know that. But it doesn't make sense. His existence doesn't make sense since everything is stopped. Sarah Connor says that herself, that it's from a future that never happened. So I don't know. I don't get this. But here's the thing. Carl, or the T-800, if you want to call him just T-800, he grows a conscience. He grows a conscience. And he meets up with this woman who has a baby, and he raises her kid as his own, and he gets married to this lady. And all of a sudden, he wants to help humans. Now, we know that the T-800 CPU is a learning computer. The more interaction he has with humans, the more he learns. But if you remember to Terminator 2, the extended cut, he says that Skynet flips a switch to read only when they're out on missions by themselves. So the only way he can really kind of adapt and learn more about humans is if that switch is flipped. And we saw that in Terminator 2 Judgment Day during the extended scene. Now, some people have said that's not canon. Other people have said it's canon. But to me, if you're going to put out an extended cut of T2 Judgment Day, that's canon. So all of a sudden, he's starting to have a conscience now. He wants to help humans. This doesn't really make sense to me. So the T-800 we're actually going to see in the movie for the most part, once we see the old T-800, he's more human now than machine. He thinks like a human. I mean, if you even see in the trailer when he's sitting down like a human, and he has a dog next to him. You can't even really tell he's a T-800. You can see the battle scars on him in the trailer, but it just doesn't add up to me. I mean, once he fulfilled his mission, all of a sudden he's just supposed to turn into a good guy. I just don't get that. You would think that he would still, want to assassinate other humans and let Skynet or Legion or whatever live on, because, he's still there. So if his existence is still there, that means that Skynet technically should have lived on, because his existence is from Skynet. Are you guys kind of following me here? But if you want to call it Legion, that's fine too. But Legion, in this movie, they're calling these machines, they're calling them Terminators. They're calling Hunter Killers HKs. These exist in the Legion timeline. But now there is no Skynet, but they're still calling them by these Skynet names. So there's a lot of contradictions, I believe, with this movie that's going to happen. It's not all buttoned up, it seems. The Carl T-800 really shouldn't be existing. And if he does exist, Skynet should exist, because he is a Skynet Terminator. He's Cyberdyne Systems Model 101. So I don't really get this. But it is what it is. We're just going to have to deal with it. And maybe that's some of the reasons why some of the reviews on this movie are kind of mixed. And all the reviews are saying you've seen this movie before. But they're kind of borrowing elements from the other 3 movies too that are not canon anymore. And they're also, it seems like they're borrowing from the Sarah Connor Chronicles also, because in that TV show you had Terminators that were like married and stuff like that. I guess that's okay for the TV show, but I don't know if it's actually canon with this. I doubt that it is. But I don't want to see a T-800 just automatically start advancing to being more human without having that switch in his CPU, flipped on so he can adapt and learn more of humans. Because it really kind of contradicts T1, T2. And this movie seems to be retconning everything about T1 and T2. When you get rid of John Connor, that's it. Game's over right there. But the media, some of the media, they like it, other ones don't. So I don't know what to make of the actual movie. I'm hearing that it is a very well-made movie. The acting is good, but the story is unoriginal. It's full Force Awakens Star Wars, which I did not like. But like I said, I'm gonna give this movie a chance. This is gonna bother me, in addition to John Connor being killed off in the beginning. So guys, what do you think of this? The Arnold T-800 Carl. What are your thoughts on him? So let me know what you guys think about him in the comments. If you're new here to the channel, please hit subscribe to catch future videos from me, and we will catch you on the next video. John Matrixx, out.